Welcome to the Driveway Beers Podcast with Mike and Alex. Thank you for joining us, and we hope you enjoy the show. Please like, subscribe, comment, and share on any platform that you're listening on. Welcome back to another episode, Driveway Beers Podcast. Thank you for coming back as always. Please like, subscribe, comment, share on any platform that you're listening to, and please share this with a friend. If you can, please share us on your socials, like your Facebook or your Twitter or wherever else, Instagram, who knows where we are. Want to thank Cheers and Spirits in the Arnold Station Plaza for sponsoring this episode, along with Brian Schilling from Long and Fostered Fine Homes in Annapolis, Maryland, 145 Main Street, in Annapolis, Maryland, 21401. Office phone number is 410-263-3400. Like I always say, Brian was my real estate agent when I bought my house. Couldn't have asked for anything better. As far as wine selection, Cheers and Spirits is where you want to go. They've never steered me wrong on a wine, and for as many times I go in there, for them never to hit wrong, that's saying something right there. So please visit our sponsors, and thank you for listening. Now, we said either last week or the week before, we've been meaning to get around to our weight loss / health update that I think it's been almost a month.
It's been a while, yeah.
A month to a month and a half since we've even talked about it. And things have happened. I'd say some better, some worse, maybe. We'll tease the actual weight loss till the end. So we'll do the old, stay tuned.
Yeah, the weight or increase.
Or increase. Yeah, it could have been increased.
Could have gone the other way.
I mean, could have been up and then down and then up. Who knows? Who knows where we're going to end up in this thing? So in the last month and a half, have you done anything differently than you had in the prior months?
I've just been really busy. Like, between, it's mostly all just kids stuff.
Right.
I've been real busy. Like, I'm coaching one of my kids' baseball teams. That's 2 practices and a game a week. I'm helping on the other team. That's a game and a practice. So, and they're all different days. So right there, 5 days a week, I've been on a baseball field doing something. So that's keeping me busy. I haven't been drinking as much beer, which is always good because that's a huge amount of just empty calories from beer. So I slowed that down, but and then just not eating as much. Smaller portions, a little bit of intermittent fasting thrown in there. So yeah, I've done some changes. Nothing, no crazy workouts or anything like that. So, I'm not doing like HIIT workouts every day. And in fact, I kind of hurt my shoulder and my lower back a little bit, so I really haven't been working out at all.
Because you were always, between the two of us, you were always the workout one.
Yeah.
So I'll be interested to see what not working out has actually done for your weight gain or loss, to see if it's actually kind of gone up and down with that.
Yeah, I don't know, because I wasn't lifting and eating to the point to like put on mass.
Yeah.
Like that was never the intent. So,
yeah, but when you lift weight, I mean, you're lifting more than the average dude, even when you're just repping.
Yeah.
Because you can lift more than the average. For any 175 or 185 pound guy out there, his reps are probably the bench is probably the bar 125, maybe 145, right? Your reps are probably in the 225 range.
Yeah, if I want to get stupid and rep it out and stuff, but again with these weak shoulders, I've been trying to really take it easy and just concentrate on kind of doing negatives and form, working on form and negative, coming down, exploding up and then coming down super slow.
Yeah.
That sort of stuff. I don't like doing burnout sets with lightweight. You can really get repetitive motion injuries doing that if you do it too much. There's a place for it, but it's not something you want to do all the time.
Right.
And there's this misconception, especially a lot of ladies think this, I just want to tone. To tone muscle, you build muscle. That's how you do it. And you can't spot loss. So they'll say, oh, I want to lose my love handle, so I'm going to do oblique twists. You're not doing anything. In fact, you're probably going to make them bigger because you're building the muscle underneath it. But to make gains, to actually build significant, noticeable amounts of muscle mass, you have to be eating a shitload of food and lifting really, really heavy weight to failure. I'm not really doing that, and I'm not doing the eating tons of food. I'm doing the opposite. So, but what I find when I lift is my everything just feels harder. It doesn't feel as soft. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I like that. I prefer that to feeling like a blob of Jello. So, like a ball of squish. So, don't want to be squish.
No, nothing feels good about like feeling like Barney looks, right?
Right.
Like, Barney looks like you squeeze him and it's all fun. Cuddles, you know. And you're like, no, damn it, I want to feel like, The Rock.
Yeah. Right? But it's nice. Like if my wife like grabs my tricep, she's like, ooh. I'm like, yeah. Right. Yeah, girl. it's back. So, that's definitely like where I like I said, I'm not trying to get, I'm not out there doing CrossFit. I think CrossFit is a great thing to do.
It's a great workout, but it's a cult.
Yeah.
Is there any place that you get the workout without the cult? Like our wives did a workout with a group.
And it was a cult.
Mm-hmm. Like CrossFit, it's a cult. I think all your friends become CrossFitters.
Oh, yeah.
You do things with the CrossFit crew.
Yeah.
It's like, no, come on now.
Yeah.
Can we get the workout without the cult?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
And I think how it gets that way with CrossFit is that the cool thing about it is you can have two people that have completely different fitness levels doing the same workout at the same time. Because it's not like, say I'm working out at 225 and my wife wants to work in with me. It is a huge pain in the butt to do that with one bench and one bar. Because every single set, we're deloading mine, and then she's putting her weight on, and then when she's done, we're taking hers off and re-upping the weight for mine, and it's not fun.
Well, that's why I got the machines at the gym.
Yeah.
You literally slide a pin in and out.
Yeah, I don't mess with machines. Yeah. And then to have a home gym with machines, I don't have that much space, right. So CrossFit's nice because you could do they have a bunch of little, like one's AMRAP, which is as many reps as possible, like in a certain amount of time. You have like different things where it's like they'll do like a ladder, so it'll be like 10, 11 or 10, 9, 8, 7 all the way down, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 all the way back up, and you have time limits, and it's different. The weight is based upon whatever you can do. So it's almost like bracket racing and drag racing. So you can have like a super fast car racing a slower car, and a slower car can win because of the bracket. Same here, like I could be using a super heavy bar, I'm going to be using a light bar, and because of the time, they end up beating me. So there's some cool stuff, and I think people get close in it because the workouts are hard and they suck. And I've done a couple of them. I forget the name of the one I did. It's you do 30 power cleans for time. And I'm like, 30, that's nothing. And you'll bang out like the first 12 like it's nothing. And you're like, oh, I got this. CrossFit. And then by the end of it, it's taking you like 4.5 minutes, and you're like barely doing one rep at a time because you're just that gassed, and then you throw up at the end. Well, I think putting yourself through that sort of adversity with other people creates a bond, like that bond through almost like a trauma bond. So
that's like a sports team.
Yeah.
The purpose of 2 days for football isn't necessarily to get everybody to learn the playbook. It's to build the camaraderie, get everybody get that brotherhood going.
Yeah, and the coaches know
through misery,
right? And the coaches know that they're going to become the common enemy, right, which is going to unite the team. And then the coaches will then come towards the end, will then be in the trenches with you, and you're like, oh, okay, they're still so
right.
Yeah. I think it's along the same lines, and I've never gotten into it. I've never been a member of a box. That's what they call a gym. CrossFit gym is a box.
Oh.
Yeah.
I learned something today.
Yeah. I know what a WOD is. A WOD is a workout of the day.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
Did you join a cult? Did you join one of those crosses? And
no. I got a lot of buddies
that are the playbook, but not the actual workout.
Yeah. I got a lot of buddies that are super into it. Okay. And for a while I was working out early in the morning with a couple people, and like we'd get to the gym at 5, and then there was a girl that started working out with us, and I'm convinced her entire body was a muscle. Like there was not an ounce of fat on this. I mean, just complete, every part of her. Like her hair had like gains. Super pretty, beautiful, like really good body, but like I think she's got more muscle mass than I do. So, and she smoked the hell out of us. Now, when it came to pushing big weight, she couldn't hang.
Right.
But that's just the natural difference between men and women, dare I say it. But,
sure. Cancel. You're done.
Yeah.
But we're not doing any of that.
No.
So, if anyone wants to do it, that's what it's going to be like for you.
Yeah.
Except we can't tell you from experience.
Yeah.
Because we're not doing that.
But if you do it, and I'll say this, make sure you go to a reputable gym with certified instructors, because there's a lot of people out there, they're like, oh, I'm a CrossFit instructor, and they're not, and they'll get people hurt. A real gym will, like, you'll have, if you're a novice, you'll come in and they'll show you how to do a power clean, how to do a proper deadlift, how to swing a kettlebell. So you're not just, oh yeah, just swing this kettlebell 38,000 times, and then you swing it 3 times and you throw your back out and now you're done.
It's not like going to an aerobics class where you're in the back of the class and you're copying the rows in front of you, because those are the people that have been there more.
Right.
And now you're at CrossFit and you're going to throw kettlebells around because you see the people in front of you throwing kettlebells around. Mm-hmm. You don't pick it up like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I often wonder, like, why does everything have to become a thing?
Right.
Like you could go to the box. No one can see my air quotes, and you pull it, and it's there because there's going to be a bunch of Jeeps parked outside.
Right.
And you're like, oh god, Jeep people, and then you go and then like CrossFit Jeep people. You're like, oh man, this is 2 separate. And then the next thing you know, you're carrying a gallon of water around with you, and you've got you're wearing your freaking socks pulled up, because how did anyone deadlift before you pulled your socks up to your knees? I have no idea.
Right.
And yeah, and so
everybody loses their sleeves apparently.
Yeah.
Everyone's just wearing tank tops all around.
Yeah. Yeah, to show off your gains.
They turn into Pat McAfee.
Yeah. No, I do like the CrossFit Games, especially the ladies version. Yeah.
So I have basically kept going with the intermittent fasting.
Mm-hmm.
I have not been as disciplined with the keto. Well, I should say this. I haven't been as disciplined the last week.
Okay.
So it's not like I've fallen off the rails. It's been 3 days.
Oh, yeah.
But I got I'm finding it, I'm kind of dreading tomorrow, because I know tomorrow I'm going to have to fight every urge to eat certain foods. And again, not that I'm at 0 carbs, but I got to rein it back under control.
Yeah.
Because I do find when I've got the carbs low with the intermittent fasting, and kind of like what you said, though, also with the calorie intake, being busy gives you less time to eat.
Mm-hmm.
And the other thing I will say about intermittent fasting, for me, I try to start eating at either 1 or 2 in the afternoon.
Okay.
Which makes it incredibly difficult to eat dinner at 5:30.
Yeah.
Because you're not really hungry, so then you end up having a less dinner. And so just by doing that on either end for 2 meals a day, it wasn't hard to do that. It was more along the lines of, well, I'm not hungry at dinner, but I got to eat something, because I know, once that 8 o'clock hour hits, I'm not eating anymore.
Mm-hmm.
2 to 8 was my 6-hour window. I'm trying to do the 18-6.
Okay.
Which is supposed to be the most effective for big fat dudes. Whether it is or not, I don't know. But that's where I went. I could do the 16-8 rather than...
I do 16-8.
So I could do that, and I could eat lunch at 12, and then... But I went with the 16... The what did I say? 6-18?
18-6.
18.6, right.
Yeah.
So I went with that because it was supposed to be the most effective. Started in July. I probably saw the most effects of it in the last 3 weeks. Mm-hmm. Not to give away any of the ending here, but I will say this: like, I have bounced back up in the last 4 days.
Okay.
So the change in the diet, because I haven't eaten outside of the window, but I definitely ate more carbs and I ate more calories. Like, I had Swedish fish one day, right? It's like all carbs.
It's all delicious, too.
And of course, I ate the whole bag.
Was it like the little bag?
It was a little-ish bag. It wasn't like the snack bag. It wasn't like the thing at the Halloween bag.
Okay.
It was like the next size.
It's like the movie theater bag.
Yes. Yeah.
It wasn't the $2.99 bag at the supermarket.
No.
Okay.
Although it was at the supermarket. It was the box, though.
Yeah.
The
they
box.
call them theater
movie
boxes.
Theater box. Yeah.
But I think Green Valley had those for like $5 for $5 or something.
Yes, they do. It was $4 for $5.
Okay.
Price point inflation.
Yeah.
Thanks, America. So, a couple bad days. It has definitely bounced back up weight wise. But at least now I kind of got the formula down a little bit. That seems to be working at the moment. Now, whether it keeps working, I don't know. But I found that, like, if I find something that works, I keep doing it until it stops working, and then maybe I'll tweak a little bit of something. Although I think the formula of, obviously, eat less, naturally, but the intermittent fasting really helps you do that.
No, it definitely does, because I do it. Now, the problem that I have is I put half and half in my coffee. So I might be breaking I don't know if I'm breaking my fit.
I do that too. Because right around 8 o'clock in the morning, after I've dropped the kid off at school, I do 2 tablespoons, which is 40 calories of half and half. If that's what's going to bust this up, so be it. Because I'll be honest with you, the effects of caffeine on me are more beneficial than not having it.
Yeah.
It's a huge appetite suppressant for me. It gets me to 2 o'clock, and I'm not starving. Yeah. I'm not dying to get to 2. The effect of the caffeine, though, on my moods, and we could talk about mental health a little bit too. Yeah, I was talking to my therapist about this, and yes, I'm on Zoloft. I'm on the lowest dosage they got. And for anyone that's been around, they know about the panic attacks that happened 2 years ago-ish, whatever. Went back on Zoloft, tried to go off, went back on it. Screwed the pharmaceutical companies and the SSRIs, probably on it for the rest of my life. Whatever.
Yeah. I heard screwed the pharmacist. I was like, you did what?
No, not the pharmacist. Pharmaceutical companies. The pharmacist's just doing their job. But as far as like the effect of caffeine, my mood is substantially more happy on caffeine. Yes, I do have more energy, but I also take B12 for that. Actually, it's called, for anyone out there, mitochondrial NRG is the actual name of it.
Oh, I've heard that advertised some different.
So I don't know if it's one of those, but it's basically it works with your mitochondria to kind of boost up your metabolism. It probably works in the same way that one of the things you're taking does.
You get it over the counter?
Yeah, well, I get it from the doctor I go to.
Yeah.
He's got it there. It's a supplement.
Yeah.
It's literally B12 and some other vitamins. That's all it is.
Okay.
And then he adds in another vitamin called ADK 10. So it's basically 10,000 IU of vitamin D. But I was practically anemic.
Yeah.
So I needed that to get me in the proper range. So it's not like I'm like juiced up on vitamin D. I'm taking this thing to get me in the normal range of vitamin D. Mostly because I probably don't go outside that much, right? I'm not getting the sunshine, is what it is. But the caffeine effect on the mood, for me, it's like any drug. Sometimes you feel better on it.
Yeah.
Like I feel like I can function better. It's proven to help with concentration. It's a mood enhancer. It's an appetite suppressant. There's a lot of benefits to it. But at the end of the day, yes, it is addicting. It's an addictive drug.
Yeah.
Straight up. That's completely legal. Because, but and I was talking to my therapist about it. And he said, look, is it a drug? Sure. Can you function without it? Sure. But if you don't have to, why not?
Yeah.
It's legal. It's not like... but in my mind, I'm thinking, well, I mean, shoot, I can get cocaine too. You know?
But it's not like you're smoking.
Right.
Yeah, it doesn't really come with any serious negative...
Yeah, I think it's probably... I think it's easier to get off of caffeine.
Yeah.
Like, if I don't have it for 3 or 4 days, yeah, my mood's going to be grumpy as shit. But it's not like I got the shakes. I'm not going through the sweats.
Yeah.
I'm just grumpy, which, I'm kind of grumpy to begin with.
Yeah.
So maybe
So
I'm just reverting back to me. Right? And I will say, like, the vitamin B, the vitamin B and the D, I'm sure they work in conjunction, but it's not like they're not mood enhancers. And the Zoloft, to be honest with you, I don't feel like it's a mood enhancer. But I've been taking this at a low dose for so long, I don't know what effect it's got.
Yeah.
The caffeine has a definite effect on mood. And when you're happier, you tend to want to do more shit. Mm-hmm. You're more active.
Yeah.
Like,
You're less likely to eat stuff to make you happy.
Yeah. And to be honest, it's like, without the caffeine, I could literally sit in the couch while I'm doing work, and I literally, it's a lot of work to convince myself just to get up. Mm-hmm. Same thing with bed. It takes effort to take my head feels like it weighs 10,000 pounds on this super soft pillow, and it's so comfortable. It's almost like it's like you're taking, like, you got to get out of your body, take both hands and hold your head like a watermelon, lift it out of the bed, and even then, all you want to do is put it back in the bed.
Yeah.
Right? The caffeine kind of gets rid of that within 20, 30 minutes of the first sip. So, is caffeine great? No, I'm not saying it is, but in my opinion, it's a useful tool. Mm-hmm. And what's going on here?
Yeah,
on multiple levels: appetite suppression, mood enhancement. Is it breaking my fast with 40 calories in the morning? Probably, but I will say this. And one of the reasons why I started doing the intermittent fasting was because I told you when I went up to Massachusetts in July, we saw my aunt and my uncle. My uncle had lost like 40 pounds, and this was like 20 years ago. Mm-hmm. And when I asked him what he did, he said intermittent fasting before it was the thing. And I said, but you drink coffee in the morning. And he said, yes, I do. Mm-hmm. He goes, I drink coffee with my half and half. And he goes, that's probably not enough to consider being a broken fast at that point.
Yeah, and the thing is, half and half, a lot of it's fat.
Yep.
So it's not like you're breaking it with tons of sugar.
There's no carbs in it.
Yeah,
like, you're not breaking carbs.
You're not eating a donut.
No.
And you're probably okay. And I think if you're even like up it and use like heavy cream, you'd probably be even better because it's even more fat and less. But I like half and half. I mean, don't get me wrong. If heavy cream's all that's available, I will put that in my coffee. But
I feel like heavy cream goes through me.
Yeah,
it doesn't agree with my digestive system.
Yeah, and even for me, my digestive system is pretty decent, but I kind of get some bubble guts after I.
Well, we're not made for. I mean, humans aren't made for dairy.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I eat cheese like a motherfucker.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, got no carbs in that. I'll chow down some cheese because I like cheese, but I know if I eat too much of it, I'm going to be in some discomfort.
Yeah. Like
painful discomfort, right? The juice isn't worth the squeeze at that point. Mm-hmm. So I might have like 2 slices of American cheese or or like 4 cracker cuts of cheddar cheese.
Yeah.
I know if I go over that, I'm probably in for a hurting. So it kind of stops me from doing it. Mm-hmm. But other than that, and I know if I eat ice cream, forget it. I'm going to be in bed, curled up in the fetal position. I'll have like the worst gas ever. And I'll be in pain.
Yeah.
Like, no poop in the world is getting that out. Like, it just keeps, like, the gas is just always there.
Ugh.
But with half and half, for whatever reason, that it's literally 2.5 tablespoons, like 40, 50 calories. Because 2 tablespoons of half and half is 40 calories. If you add the extra half, it's 10. It's another 10. Yeah. So it's 50. But it doesn't bother me enough to where I'd stop using it, because I've tried coffee without it. It really, like, half and half takes a lot of the bitterness out of coffee.
It does. Yeah.
It smooths it out a lot.
And it also cools it off. Like,
Oh, yeah. I don't like super hot coffee.
yeah. You get that cup of black coffee, it's hot. And then it takes forever to get cool.
Yeah.
To drink. You put some half and half in there, and it drops the...
I'm the guy who gets iced coffee in the winter. That's how I don't like hot coffee.
Right.
I mean, no, I like warm coffee.
See, I get hot coffee year round. It's funny because I'll go through and I'll order, I just always go to Dunkin' and I'll be like, yeah, let me have or have medium coffee, cream and sugar. They're like, hot coffee? I was like, yeah, did I stutter? Like, hot coffee's the default. If I say iced,
so hot?
Yeah, but you put half and half in it and it's fine.
Yeah, but it's literally like, sometimes even like the half and half doesn't do it. It's like it's like the most scalding coffee ever.
I just let it chill like for 5 minutes, then I drink it.
I think old people like it that way.
Probably.
Like my mom and my dad, they when they were drinking coffee, that thing was steaming for an hour.
And then they probably also, at the restaurant, there's probably also something in it about like sanitary stuff. Like if they keep it at a certain temperature, it kills all the bacteria.
They leave it on those burners, and they turn the burner all the way to super hot.
Yeah.
Like burn your face off hot.
Yeah, it's like 180 degrees.
Yeah. It's like, can we turn it, like, instead, like if it's like a 5-thing setting, can we go to 4 instead of 5?
We only have to cook pork and chicken to 165. Like that shit.
Right. I mean, it's like, I don't really need to have my whole interior of my mouth burnt.
Yeah.
Like just melting off the top layer of skin on the roof of my mouth. Like, can we not do this?
Yep.
Like, I like the taste. I'm not trying to hurt myself.
Yeah.
And imagine, like, one time, like, you get it in the car, if it spills a little bit, and it gets on your leg, it's like, it burns the hairs off. And now I'm just upset.
Yep.
The coffee's not going to enhance that mood.
Yeah.
Now I just got the little red burn mark on my leg. Or it gets on your hand. Oh.
Yeah. Now, are you still doing the TRT?
About the testosterone?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Okay.
You know you can't use technical terms.
Oh,
with me. You can't use scientific words today. Yes. So I am now on the schedule you were on. So I used to be on the 200 milligrams every other week.
Okay.
I was getting injected at the doctor's office.
Yeah.
That changed. So now it's 100 milligrams or 0.5 mils.
Yes.
Every week. And I do it at home.
Okay.
And that could also be part of the energy boost. Like, I haven't been off of it since I've been on it, right? Mm-hmm. So I just remember before I was very lethargic. Now, don't get me wrong. It's kind of like with a car. You fix 7 things, you don't know which one fixed the problem, right? Mm-hmm. Any one of the 7 could have done it, or any combination of the 7 could have done it.
Or all of them were necessary.
All, right. So because, I mean, between the big dose of vitamin B, D, the testosterone booster, the coffee, I think those are the only additions we did. It could have been any of those. Mm-hmm. Could have been the eating less. Could have been more protein, less carbohydrates. Maybe that did it. I mean, I don't know which part of it did it. I guess I do feel like the testosterone probably helped the most, though. But I don't have anything to back that up, right?
Yeah.
Feel more manly. I suppose. I don't know. I don't know. I don't even know how you qualify that.
I started microdosing mine.
So what do you do now?
So I was on 0.5 a week. Mm-hmm. But then what I did is the numbers were, I wasn't seeing much of a result from it. So the doctor took me to 0.75. So what I do is I give myself 0.2 3 times a week.
Gotcha.
So I'm kind of splitting the difference, but because you want it to be as consistent as you can. Now, I don't feel like giving myself a shot every day of 0.1.
Right.
So I make it every 3 days. So it's 1 and then 2 days off and then another one and then 2 days. So it works out to about 3 days a week that I give an injection at 0.2. And that's, for me, that seems to be like just my like mood stabilized. Like everything's like, better mood, like not as anxiety driven, able to shake things off easier. So, and the thing is, the point, like, testosterone replacement gets a bad rap because of the old bodybuilding community with the, people on HGH, and, those dudes are giving themselves like 100 a day. Like, they're giving themselves a lot of freaking, it may even more, like, they're really hitting it hard.
So you mean like 100 milligrams a day?
Yeah, like whatever the, if we're on 100 a week, they're giving themselves that every day. Man. So, and sometimes more.
Right.
And that's the stuff where, like, to get, like, serious gains and all that stuff. But, I did notice the difference, like, when I give myself the 0.75 all at once. Like, the next day or so, I was like, like.
I texted you a while back because I was at the end of the bottle and I was getting the new ones. And I was like, oh, okay, well, this will be the last dose. And I pulled it all out. And it was like, I think it was like 1.2. And so I'm supposed to give myself 0.5. I'm doing like double the dose and another half. I was like, so I texted you, like, I just gave myself a lot of testosterone. What do I do? Yeah. You're like, relax, it'll be fine.
Yeah.
So, bodybuilders do that a day.
Yeah.
I go, I know, I just did it today. Come here. Like, you'll be fine. You're not doing it tomorrow.
Right. Come here, woman. And the microdosing thing, like, I've only been doing it for a couple weeks, so I'm trying to get more of a sample size to see the overall effect. But so far, it's been pretty good. And it, of course, all my research has been like straight up bro science. Like, sure. Yeah, bro, like you want it to be spread out, So, we'll see.
I've had one issue with the injections, though.
So they don't bother me.
No. The injections are about, so I'll inject it. Mm-hmm. And so I've got the 18 gauge to pull it into the syringe. Mm-hmm. Then I unscrew it, put the 23 gauge on.
Yeah.
But it's really tough to kind of push it through that 23 gauge into your muscle.
Now, I'm
doing mine on the thigh.
Do you have the fatter syringes or the skinny ones?
Like the plastic part?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I think they're skinny-ish. Not like super skinny. Like, it's not like a heroin needle.
So, like,
it's like the next size up.
There are some that are like bigger than the pen, and there are others that are like, I don't even see.
You mean thickness-wise or like length-wise?
Thick. So like
the size of the screwdriver?
Yeah. So like that's the one. So I have some of those.
Okay.
And then I have some that are like the thickness of the power cable here.
Okay.
So
these are the one. So I've got one that's the thicker one, like the screwdriver.
Okay. The thinner ones are easier to push.
Okay.
Because I guess you're pushed against a smaller surface area to get it through that thing, so it's at a lower pressure, but you have to do it longer.
But the problem I'm having, though, is, and it's not every time, it's only in certain times, and it just might be where I'm injecting it in the muscle. Mm-hmm. Because like I said, I usually do mine in my left thigh. But sometimes, so I'll push it in, and I'll pull the needle out, and I feel like some of it comes out. Because it's viscous. Yeah. So I can tell it's that. I mean, blood is obviously red, but
yeah.
So sometimes it gets pushed out.
Yeah, I've had that. So
you just rub it in.
You rub it in, or try to lick it off. Right. So
because it can be absorbed through the skin. They have that. They have versions of it like that.
Yeah, they have others. They're like subcutaneous implants that release it over time.
Yeah, I ain't that dedicated.
So
I'm not trying to do that.
Oh no, and then the other thing you gotta check though is make sure you check your estradiol levels because you don't want your estrogen to get too high.
Yeah, so we did not test blood work. So I went back to the doctor about 3 weeks ago. We didn't test blood work this time. We're gonna do it next time. Mm-hmm. I've been going every 3 months. and we're going to test everything out again. I'll be interested to see where everything is, to be honest with you, just because at that point it'll have been 7 months since I had the last blood work taken. I still got to talk to him about my thyroid levels that were low, so I don't know. I'm sure that'll make a difference at some point, but he didn't bring it up, so I didn't bring it up. But I also don't know if he looked at the blood work. But I'll definitely talk to him about that. But all that being said, where are you now? So you started at 450. I started at 350. And we'll say should we say as of today, or what is your lowest? Which should we go with?
So I have weighed myself this week. Last week I was at 398.
So you're down 52 pounds.
Yeah.
Which is massive.
Yeah. But it's funny because, like, for me, like, people are like, it looks like you lost weight. You think an average person, like, if my wife lost 50 pounds, like, people are like, what the hell? Like, you need to go see a doctor or something. Like,
right.
But, like, I lose 50 pounds and it's like, you look like you lost a little bit of weight.
Right. I know, right?
And people don't understand, like, me losing 50 pounds is like a normal person losing 15. But I was down in my base in the gym in the basement, and I picked up a 45-pound. I was like, "That's heavy," and I used to carry that around with me.
Yep.
But I've noticed differences. Like going up steps is easier, getting in and out of cars is easier. Clothes fit better. So I'm like, okay, this is pretty cool. When you see that sort of change every day, stuff that you notice it makes it easier to keep on the grind.
Yeah.
And I think that's where a lot of people fail because the beginning stages of any new regimen suck. Because, you want to eat all the garbage you ate before and go nuts and do all this crap. And then the next thing you know, you're a week into it and you dropped some pounds because it's, you're losing it really quick at first. And then the next week it's like, oh, I gained a pound. And rather than saying, okay, your trend is down overall, you're like, F it, I'm done.
Right. And
then you go right back to doing what you're doing before and you don't. But I think you need to get something where you can be like, okay, I'm feeling different here. I'm able to go up and down steps easier. I'm able to get in and out of the car easier. I'm able to do all these things better. And I can notice a difference. So it kind of motivates you just like, running down to the basement to grab the laundry. Like, oh, okay, cool. Like that makes it, things like that is kind of a reward.
We're also 8 months in though.
Yeah.
Like at 1 month or 2 months, we're not saying this. Yeah, we're not feeling the difference. Now we might be seeing it on the scale.
Yeah.
But you're not feeling it.
Yeah.
Like now, 8 months in, 52 pounds is significant.
Mm-hmm.
Your shorts are different. You're probably down a size in shorts.
Mm-hmm.
Your shirts that you were wearing before, maybe your gut's not hanging out the bottom.
Yeah.
Like that's where I'm at. So like now, my gut's not hanging out the bottom of the shirts. Yeah. So I don't have to wear a second shirt that's longer. Now I probably still do because that's just what I've always done.
Yeah.
Down, couldn't wear the old shorts because basically the belt was holding it up.
Yeah.
Like if I take the belt off, the shorts fall off. So I had to go down. But the weird thing is and you might have the same issue. The waist might have shrunk, but the thighs seem to have just stayed the same size. Yeah. So I'm trying to fit these ham hocks into a smaller pair of shorts, and it's a lot. It feels tighter than the other. Like I like a loose fitting pair of shorts on my thighs.
Yeah, I don't like. So I've got a hockey butt. So that's a big butt from playing skating all those years when I was a kid, and then big thighs. Like I have a lot of my strength is in my lower body. So I have tree trunk legs. One of the problems is, and like now, everything is like this slim fit.
I know.
Whichever dickhead asshole decided that was the look now, like, come on, man. Like, so everything's a stupid slim cut. So you go to buy a shirt, you're like, oh, okay, it's 3X. But it's not. Because it's slim cut.
Right.
Or athletic, whatever the hell they want to call it. I'm like, that's not, I look ridiculous in this thing.
they're all fucking schmediums.
Yeah.
You know?
And no, I have some shirts I love that are cut the right way. Mm-hmm. So they're like tight across the chest and the arms and shoulders, so it accentuates the areas that look good, and then they hang loose over my belly. I'm like, okay, this is pretty cool. But I have other shirts where they're too big, and I look like I'm wearing a muumuu. So it just hangs off the fattest part of your body, and you look ridiculous. Because a lot of people think, like, oh, I look like, I want to hide my imperfections, so I'm going to wear this massive shirt, clothes that are way too big, and then you just look like you're wearing it, like a fat guy wearing a tent. Like when Homer was wearing the muumuu because he got too fat to.
I was at for bigger dudes. I found these at Kohl's, and I go online. Mm-hmm. So and I get the 3 XLT. So you get the tall, so you get the extra room on the bottom.
Yeah,
to help with the gut coverage. But they're called they're from Apartment 9.
Okay.
And I think they're 5% spandex, 30% polyester, and then I think it's 55% cotton. Mm-hmm. And what it creates for like a very light shirt that's stretchy, but doesn't trap heat like the polyester. Like when you go 100% polyester, like those dry fit shirts, dude, they just trap heat like crazy. They don't breathe. They're not breathable. They might dry quick, but they're not breathable.
Yeah.
So for any of the, you got to get them online though, because they don't have them in the stores. So it's Apartment 9. I think they're called Flex Tees or something. Don't get the Premier Flex. Get the other ones. They got them in V-necks and regular necks. But no, Kohl's doesn't sponsor us. I just like the shirts. The only problem is like if you go in the bigger sizes, it's tough to find like different colors. Mm-hmm. So like mostly I got white, and like every once in a while I get like if they have multiple colors, I'll snatch them up because I know they won't have them. Yeah. So,
well, Kohl's always. So I used to go to Kohl's all the time, and I stopped because this one. It is stupid, but you ever had that one bad experience with a business? You're like, I'm never going there again. So I used to go there a lot, and I'd buy like my gym clothes and stuff like that there, and so I go in. I think I was getting socks and some other stuff, and I go to check out. They're always trying to push the Kohl's credit card. I don't do store credit cards. And like, oh, you could save 30% if you do if you have the Kohl's credit card. It was some young girl, like maybe 17, just 18 years old.
Just doing her job.
And I said, no, thanks. Are you sure? I said, yeah, I'm sure. I don't do store credit cards. Because it's good. I said, I'm not discussing my finances with you. Right. Sorry. And then she says, it's really dumb that you're not doing it because you can save 30%. I was like, excuse me?
Oh, no.
I was like, you're calling me dumb because I'm not trying to go into pick up a credit card that has a 30% interest rate.
Right.
Like, okay, is your manager? And I never asked. I was like, is your manager here?
Oh, you went full Karen.
I was going Karen.
Oh, no.
And then she's like, and I was like, just ring me. Just get me out of here. I don't feel like dealing with you anymore. But it was like ridiculous. Like, it's really dumb that you don't do. Oh, really?
Oh, is it?
I'm sorry, Becky. But then the other thing that trips me out about Kohl's is no matter what you get, like I'll go there and buy some T-shirts, some socks. Every now and then they'll have like K-cups and stuff that are like on sale. Like get a really good deal. Like it'll be like, the 24 K-cups for like $10. Like some discontinued, but it's like a name brand.
Sure.
And you check out and they're like, oh, you saved $374,000 on your Kohl's visit. Like, what does this stuff cost? Like, who pays that price? Right. Like, I'm like, what? Like, what? Everything in there is 70% off. I'm like, right. Who's paying $35 for a dozen socks?
Right.
But that's how it is there. I'm like, you guys are, and these dopes are like, look, they're 70% off.
Right. Oh, but, look, I spent $300, but I saved $600. What? No, you spent $300.
Yeah.
Because that's what it actually costs.
Right. What's coming out of your banking? How much money are you giving them? That's what you spent.
You still spent $13 on a T-shirt.
Yeah.
That's what the T-shirt costs.
Yeah.
It doesn't really cost $29.
Right.
They're making you think you got a deal, so you go back and go get that deal again. That's not a deal.
Maybe some other time of year, they'll sell it for $29. But today, they're selling it for $13, and they paid $4.
Yeah, right.
So they're still making a decent amount of money.
They're still making a 500% profit.
Yeah.
They're just not making a 1,500% profit on you.
Yeah. So I used to love going there, but I don't really go there a lot anymore. I don't really go to any stores anymore.
You know a place that people sleep on? And I'm not going to say everybody, because it's one of the biggest retailers in America. But for guys' clothes, Walmart is really underrated. Mm-hmm. Now, we're probably one of the only places that doesn't have a Walmart, like, real close by.
There's none close to us.
None.
There's
one up in Pasadena.
And
That's a new one.
Yep. And then there's
got it. Birdie.
Yeah. And then the next closest one is like Bowie,
which is 35 minutes away.
Yeah.
So the closest one is maybe 25 minutes away.
Yeah.
Which is unheard of in this country.
Oh, yeah.
But our areas put like the big old ban on Walmart, which is, I don't know why.
We have Target.
Well, we do have a Target. Yes. And don't get me wrong, Target is all right. But for guys' clothes, for me, and maybe it's just because of the certain brands I like. I mean, I can go into Walmart. They always have my size. They have Wrangler cargo shorts. Mm-hmm. And people probably like, Wrangler? Who's still wearing Wrangler? I am.
Yeah.
In the shorts. And to be honest with you, I'm wearing Levi's in the jeans too. Because they fit right. But the shorts, the cargo shorts, and they got like some, like they have the dry fit cargo shorts, but they also have the regular cotton cargo shorts.
Yeah.
$16 for a pair of cargo shorts.
That's good. Yeah, I need to give them a shot because they have a decent big and tall section. I used to go there to get like cotton shorts to like sleep in. Like remember the old like Russell, like you wear them for gym class,
right?
I get a bunch of those and sleep in them. Super comfortable. It's good to go to like get like cut off t-shirts for the pool and the beach, so you work on your tan.
Well, the best part about it is though, for me, a pair of cargo shorts is $16. If they rip in a year, I don't care.
Just throw them out.
Throw them out.
Yeah.
I didn't pay $40 for them.
Yeah.
You know, it's like jeans. If they last me a year, maybe two, they cost me $18.
Yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, they're Levi's. You know what? No one's looking.
So I hate jeans.
Yeah.
I hate wearing jeans. I can't stand wearing jeans. I'd rather wear a suit than wear jeans. I'd rather a suit, shirt, and tie than wear jeans. I can't stand them. I'm just not comfortable in them.
I wear them.
And I think my normal attire, like, are freaking gym clothes and bathing suits. Like, that's what I would wear all the time. I cannot stand jeans. Like, I'm not. And it's funny because, like, when I used to go to the gym, like, before I have this stuff in my basement, I'd go and, like, these old dudes would be, like, working out in jeans. I'm like, you wear jeans? You must be skipping leg day today, bro. Right. Because you're not squatting in those things, dog.
No. Or maybe they're Walmart jeans. Or maybe they are. Because they don't care if they rip.
Yeah. And I had this one pair of jeans. I don't remember where I bought them from. They were super lightweight, and they were, like, stretchy. So, like, you could squat down.
Were you wearing jeggings?
They weren't jeggings, no.
Oh.
But
I don't know.
Here's the thing. I don't want to see, like, the whole legging thing. I'll get into that after I tell the story. So I'm wearing these jeans, and they were loose fit. They weren't, like, tight, but they were so, like, you could squat down to tie your shoe or something and not castrate yourself.
Sure.
But then they were really thin. But they were made by, I think they were Polo. Mm-hmm. So they're like super expensive, and then they ripped. And I was like, well, I'm glad I spent all that money. But for the time I had them, they were nice. So, and jeans never rip on a seam. They always rip like next to the seam. So you can't even sew them. Right. But, no, so leggings. So I have a pair of Under Armour Heat Gear leggings. And I like to wear Under Armour underwear.
Big admission right here.
Yeah, so I like to wear this. I like the skin tight, like compression short type underwear.
Sure, like you're going to play professional basketball.
Yeah, and the thing is, I wear them because I used to get really bad chub rub, and it prevents that from happening.
Good enough.
So I've been wearing them for the last 20 years. Like ever since they came out, I've been wearing it, and that's all I wear.
Sounds practical.
I buy them. You know, they're expensive.
Right.
more expensive than than cotton briefs or, boxer briefs or whatever the hell you want to call them. But they last for years. So I'll buy 10 pairs at once. I'll see if there's a sale at Under Armour, and I'll buy 10 pairs of them. Mm. So my whole underwear drawer is full of Under Armour of these things. So at one time I was having trouble finding it, so I went to the Under Armour outlet, and the only thing I could find that was in my size were these Heat Gear leggings, and it was the summer, so I was like, screw it, I'll get these. So I wore them once or twice, and then just chucked them in the drawer. And thought, well, when I started riding the Peloton, I was like, this is what bikers were. So let me wear this. So I put them on, and I start biking. I was like, this is... And I went upstairs and made breakfast. It was just... Everyone was gone. And Lindsay was around. My wife was around. And she's like, what are you doing? I said, this is actually comfortable. It's like, yeah, that's why I wear them all the time. So yeah, but nobody wants to see, dude junk in leggings, Oh,
my God.
Now, a pretty girl wearing leggings, you're like, yeah, keep doing that. It's like the greatest invention on earth.
I feel like this is the first conversation of 3 where you end up admitting you're going to wear ladies' underwear next.
Yes, I'm not. But I like
3 shows from now, it's, I kind of do like a thong.
Yeah. So much freedom.
Right.
But, so you see the girls wearing the leggings, the ladies wear leggings, like, yeah, it looks, and then they say it's super comfortable, and it is. However,
yeah, they don't have an elephant's trunk hanging.
Yeah, but no one wants to see dude junk all over.
There's no
ladies don't want to see it.
There's no elephant trunk and Dumbo ears.
Yeah,
coming out of it. Not that I'm saying I'm like that. I'm not built like that.
Right.
But
yeah,
you're not putting out the Dumbo face in front of everybody.
But nobody wants, and then, but when the women wear it, go ahead, keep doing it. Because the ladies don't want to see the junk all over the place.
It's not. Look, it's as guys, we got to admit it ain't pretty.
It's kind of goofy looking.
Yeah, it's not, especially because you're not used to seeing it, right?
Yeah,
it's not something you just want hanging out,
right?
Especially in public. God, no. Because then you're just showing. Oh well, now we know, right? People look at. Well, now we know what he's got.
Yeah,
it's like, whoa, hey, wait a minute.
Let's leave some of the imagination.
Yeah, we got to leave some of the mystery involved. But yeah, I hear you.
So, but the women keep it up. Approved. Got the stamp of the Driveway Beer stamp of approval.
I mean, I'm hoping it's a phase that my wife doesn't grow out of at any point. But
I don't think they're going anywhere.
I think they're too comfortable to go.
Yeah,
at this point,
it's and then it's made because now it's acceptable for them to wear leggings all over the place. And it's so funny because, I remember taking, when my kids were little, taking them to preschool, and it was like the Peninsula Mom uniform. They all had their leggings on. They looked like they were going to the gym, but they weren't.
No one was going to the gym.
And you could tell the ones that were going to the gym.
That one workout happened.
You could tell the ones that were going to the gym because they're wearing sneakers. The ones that were wearing flip-flops, you're not fooling anyone. You got the sneakers on. So it was, but yeah, it was the uniform of the day. They were showing up in their Suburban, holding their Starbucks cup with their leggings, and hey, it made dropping and being one of the older parents there, it made dropping the kids off at daycare or at preschool a little more enjoyable during the day. But
I remember when I dropped the kids off. I literally got in, I got out. I didn't want to talk to them because you're one of the I don't know about you, but I was one of the only dads.
Yeah.
I feel like when you're around moms and you're the only dad in the group or in the area, they look at you with a level of pity, kind of. Like, oh, you tied your shoes this morning?
Well, it's funny because,
yes, I tied I tied the kids' shoes too. What are you going to do about that?
Yeah. Well, I think they're so used to their own, incompetent husbands that are terrible with it.
Incompetent?
I think some are.
God. Man, you got to do better.
Well, no, but, my wife's friends would be like, well, she'd go out. And she goes out a lot more than I do. I don't have to do anything. And this is the closest I get to going out. But and a lot of it because I don't want to go out because I don't want to spend the money and I'd rather just stay home. So
yeah,
she
going out takes effort.
But she goes out and then her friends will be like, "Well, who has the kids?" And she's like, "Oh, Mike's got the kids." I'm like, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My wife does the same thing.
And they're like, she goes, he's like, he does everything with it. Like, well, did you make the dinner? She's like, no, he makes all the dinner. The kids don't want me making dinner. But like, and I think, like, is that the expectation?
Oh yeah. You know how I know it happened? You know how I know it gets talked about? Because the nights it gets talked about, she'll literally come home and say, thank you. I'm like, for what?
Yeah.
Just doing stuff.
Yeah, or they'll say like, "Oh, it's so nice that your husband babysits the kids," and she's like, "They're his kids. He's not babysitting anybody."
Right. Yeah,
I'm like, "I'm not babysitting anyone because you're not giving me $20 an hour."
No,
which is a goddamn going rate right now.
And the funny thing is, I'm like, if they only knew I took my kids out, hopped them up on sugar, like the other day, it was hot. It was during that like really hot period of the week. It was just super hot, and I was like, all right. Got to get the kids out of the house. We're going to Monster Golf. I did not. My wife takes them to like the library, like a story time, or like they'll go check out books. Like they'll go do something educational, or they go to the bookstore, something like that. Right? Not me. We're going to play Monster Golf, indoor, glow in the dark mini golf.
Oh yeah,
and arcade. That's where we're going.
Yeah.
But sure, I'm babysitting the kids.
Well, it's funny. I took my oldest to. He had a half day. He goes to private school. The other two are in public school. So I guess it was last week or the week before. He had a half day on a Friday. So I picked him up, came home, and the little ones. They're not really little, but we only call them the big boys, which is minus the youngest one, or the little boys, which is minus the oldest one, or there's all of them. So we took them to, they were in school, they're in SAC, so they're there after school. I'm like, well, I'm not going to go pick them up early, I'm paying for this. And they're hanging out with all their friends, they don't want me picking them up.
Right.
So I say, Logan, what do you want to do? He goes, oh, well, I don't know. I said, let's go to the driving range. So we go to the driving range, and we're hitting golf balls. Now, he's left-handed. Well, he's not left-handed. He swings left. He does everything but throw and right with his left hand. So he's a left-handed golfer. Mm-hmm. And it's funny because he has a slice too. So I'm slicing balls to the right and he's slicing balls to the left. And his golf swing is his baseball swing. He even loads. Like he steps into it like he's about to hit a baseball. Like he looks like a baseball player that's going for like that low ball.
It's going half a Happy Gilmore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, you got to keep your feet still. I said, you know what? We're, fall ball star. I don't want to mess up your baseball swing.
Right.
Just as I was talking to my buddy who's a big baseball guy and a big golf guy. He's like, oh yeah, don't tell him anything about the golf swing during baseball season. Like that can come later. He'll figure it out. Just let him have fun. And that's what we were doing. Like we were having a blast. Now, meanwhile, 2 stalls from me, this little kid shows up and he starts knocking the piss out of these balls. And they're going straight. They're flying beautifully. And he's like, oh, that one didn't go very far. His grandfather's like, oh, they're range balls. Don't worry about it. He's like, hit a draw on this one. Bring it back to you. And he is. And I'm like, I just want to not slice it in the woods.
Look at him like, is that Tiger Woods?
Yeah.
Is that what Tiger Woods was? My God.
Because I'm sure like my ball travels through the air 350 yards. It's straight line distance is like 75. Right. And then it goes the other direction.
You're hitting it over the netting and into like the little par 3, knocking someone out.
Yeah, like it's going to the trailer park that's next to the driving range.
Right.
Like or in the little yard where they keep like the tractors that pick up the golf balls, like that's where it's going. Yeah. So
going back, so we veered off of weight loss from
related somewhat.
Yeah. So I never gave an update where I am at. So
that's true.
I'm at 308. My lowest was 308. So that's 42 for me.
Good work.
So you're at 52.
Mm-hmm.
I'm 10 behind you at 42. I'm just gonna say that's because I started lighter. We're just gonna say that.
Well, no, I mean if you were to do it percentage wise, which is how like Biggest Loser did it, you're probably ahead.
I like that.
So
it's a competition, damn it.
Yeah.
Although the funny part was, so before we got to where we were, before you texted me and told you were under 4, I was like, ooh, let's do a race to under our 100 mark.
Yeah.
So you under 4, me under 3, and then you texted back like, I'm at 398. Son of a bitch. So that got thrown out the window.
Yeah, so much for that. And I'm not like the next 100 mark. My goal weight's 295.
Yeah.
And I picked 295 because that's what J.J. Watt played at. And I'm thinking to myself, J.J. Watt's a pretty ripped dude. Like, let me get to 295. Let me just.
I would love to, like, so I don't know if we ever talked about it, but I did one of those scales where it does body composition. Mm-hmm. So I found out, essentially, I've got 189 pounds of muscle, organs, and bone. It's like 189, 192, that range.
Yeah.
So that's the way it would be at 0% body fat.
So if you're just shredded.
Yep. But that would also have me considered obese per BMI.
So dumb.
Or over.
There's charts.
I don't know if it might be overweight, not obese. I think I'm supposed to be like, at 5'9", I'm supposed to be like 165, 170.
Dude, so I'm 6'2", and I think my weight's supposed to be like
235, something like that.
No. It's like 180.
Oh, Jesus.
And I'm like, 180? Like, who made this? Some freaking skinny endurance athlete?
Well, they were made back in like the 40s.
Yeah, they were made. It's all from data from the military and insurance companies.
It was before
That's where it all
genetically
comes from.
modified food, when they pumped us all full of stuff.
Yeah.
So we basically evaluated what my body weight should be. So our goal is 250. Well, my goal is 250. Mm-hmm. And then we'll reevaluate from there to see what my body composition is at that point. Because to be 192 isn't realistic. I'm not going to be 0% body fat. It's just not happening.
No, it's not even healthy.
No.
You need some fat to keep your organs and stuff. And
sure.
So
I mean, I think ideally, I think it would have been like 235. But I don't think I'm getting to that point either.
You'd probably be like straight up jacked at like 220.
That'd be, which has never happened in my entire life.
Shredded.
I have no desire. Well, not desire. I have no dreams of that happening. But
I just want my driver's license to not be lying.
Honestly, I don't even remember my driver. I think my driver's license says I'm like 270.
Okay.
So it's not close.
Yeah.
I mean, especially when I was 350. That was what, 70-pound difference? Whatever. You know. When I got pulled over, the police officer was saying, you got a little chunky. He just kind of like let me off with a warning, and it's like, okay.
Yeah.
I don't think they're checking for
slow down, Tubby.
Yeah. I feel bad for you because obviously at one point you were this weight, and you're not now. It shows.
Yeah.
Move along.
Yeah, my driver, it just says 295. So I'm like, sure.
They should have like, rather than numbers, be like, have categories.
Just a circle. Just a circle. So it's like a small, like a little dot if you're small.
Right.
It just goes up.
Change the oval size.
Yeah. So then, like, for me, it would be like, they'd have to like put a little extension on the plastic card. Or just say fatty.
Mine would be definitely chubby.
Right.
or definitely round. Shape, round.
Shape, poor.
Police officer looks in. It's about right. Yeah. Okay. Must be you.
Well, I'm surprised they haven't gotten rid of it altogether because of this body positivity crap.
Oh my gosh.
So, I mean, that could be almost another episode, but some of the stuff that and here's the thing, I don't have a problem with being comfortable in your own skin and not I got teased when I was a kid and it sucked. And it's funny because like all us little tubby kids got teased until puberty hit. Mm-hmm. And then once puberty hit, all that fat turned into muscle and we stopped being the little fat kids and started being the big dudes. And then all the other skinny kids were trying to snort protein powder and lift weights really bad, like terrible form, do all this crap to get bigger. Then we were just already big. And then being a big, dudes want to be big, right? I'm not saying all of them, but a lot of people. And then when it comes to sports, there's some really good things about being big. When you're the 6'4", 300-pound kid in high school and you're playing O-line and you're just hitting dingers every day on the baseball, that's cool. Everyone's like, oh man, that guy's awesome, blah, blah, blah. A lot of times for the girls, they don't get that benefit. I think we talked about this a couple times before, but like, and I think the body positivity thing is good. Like, hey, don't make fun of people. Don't feel like crap because you're but I think it's now like everything else getting perverted into, oh, well, that's healthy.
Yeah.
And it's not. I spent most of my life at these ridiculous weights, and it's not healthy. I feel a lot better smaller. So you can't for 1 second tell me, and I'm the healthiest fat guy you'll ever meet based upon all those blood work and all that numbers. Like, I'm good, but it's a lot better smaller. And you can't tell me for 1 second that there's any benefit to carrying this much weight on me.
Yeah. There's more said about girls' body image than there is about guys.
Yeah.
Right? The guy's body image was always the Men's Fitness magazine or the powerlifting magazine.
Yeah,
so it was all about muscles, ripped abs.
Yeah. Gains.
But that's what it was, right? And guys kind of like, it was okay to rib another guy because he was fat and out of shape.
Yeah.
And the idea behind it was, well, for the most part, the idea was to make fun of the guy. But then also, like, if he didn't want to be made fun of anymore, he would take it into his own hands and he would get in shape.
Yeah.
Well, that doesn't always work.
Right.
For girls, though, I don't think the body image that was presented to them was ever really a healthy one to begin with.
No, and I think it's gotten better.
Yeah. But there's a medium, right?
Yeah.
It's not what it was. It's certainly not what they're going for now. There's got to be a happy medium.
But like our parents, so when our mothers were girls or young women, it wasn't. So now it's fit and healthy and strong, right? You see some of these women that are like you'll see them at the pool, like the kids' mom, their friend's mom, like. You know, the one, like the gym rats, they're all like, I mean, they're not like female, they're not, female muscle bodybuilders, but you can definitely tell there's muscle on them. And before, that was not desirable. It was to be thin. Everything was to be thin. And, oh, that's fattening, and you have to be thin.
As thin as possible.
To me, thin is weak. And I don't have daughters, but if I did, I'd be like, no, you're not going to be thin. You're going to be strong as fuck. And you're going to be a badass. And we're not doing this thin shit.
Right.
Because to me, thin is skinny and skinny is weak. Now, if that's the best you could be, and hey, you might have the genetics to be a distance runner, and that's awesome. But you're going to be a strong as fuck distance runner.
Yeah.
Like, we're not going to be, oh, you're going to be thin and weak and dainty and people have to take care of you. No. And I'm glad it's shifting in that, but I think for some of the things where you see like, oh, like you have to accept, like if you're not attracted to someone built like Lizzo, you're fat shaming. Right. I'm sorry, not every dude's attracted to girls that are built like Lizzo. I'm not,
Right. Or you're fat phobic.
Right. Like, I'm not afraid of it. I am it, and I'm still not attracted to it. So,
but the other part is like, look, in my current shape, like I don't really need someone telling me I'm a fat piece of shit.
Right.
I know I need to lose the weight.
Yeah.
But I also don't have the body type to be Lionel Messi.
Right.
I don't have that build. And the funny part, like I was talking to my doctor about that. And we were talking about my ethnicity and the Armenian ethnicity and whatnot. And he said, well, based on your genetics and ethnicity, you don't have the genetics to be a slim, waifish kind of soccer player style body.
Right.
He goes, that's not in your genetics. He goes, there's some, don't get me wrong. But he goes, for the most part, your ethnicity is not built that way. But there's always exceptions to the rule, right? But he was essentially saying, look, with your body type, there's only a certain level of smallness you can get to. Your bones are a certain amount, are a certain size.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, oh, he's trying to do he's big boned. Okay, people have different bone densities. It is what it is. I'm not saying I should be 308, but I'm not going to get down to 192 based on my body composition.
Right.
So, rather than having this, I get it, body positivity. because you don't want it to cause depression but you need to have more realistic health standards. Mm-hmm. It shouldn't be the slim waifish girl with the huge boobs in the Victoria's Secret catalog.
Yeah,
it shouldn't. I mean, but even those girls in the fitness catalogs, yes, they're big and strong, but that's almost 0% body fat too.
Yeah, and
that's almost unattainable.
And I think
not unattainable, but it's very hard to attain that without living that lifestyle fully.
Yeah, and I think people forget is that also in those ads and pictures, like there's a whole lot of assistance, and even if it is like to get to that point, like they'll go on cuts and all that stuff, and that's not healthy either.
No.
People that are lifting for, that are in physique or bodybuilding competitions, like, and they go on their bulk and cut, and they're going to cut before competition, like, their chemicals, like, I mean, they're all messed up. They're not eating anything, and the second they're done with the competition, the first thing to do is go eat something,
and drink.
Yeah,
they're dehydrating before.
Yeah,
to get rid of the water weight.
Yeah, so they're really not trying, they'll even tell you it's not healthy, and they're only doing it for that one to get to that show, and the second that show's over, they're done with it.
And fighters do it.
Yeah. Yeah, they're always cutting and stuff, but I think to go and tell people that, oh no, it's fine and it's healthy to be that way, like, I think you're setting people down a dangerous path.
Right. It's going the complete opposite way of what it was.
Yeah.
And look, the other way wasn't appropriate either, though.
Yeah.
But there's got to be something in the... If you're going to put out a message, put something out in the middle. But you also don't want people feeling bad and going into a depression and a funk. Because once you go into a depression and funk, you're only going to get bigger.
Yeah.
It doesn't help you lose weight.
No.
Does it help motivate some people to lose weight? Maybe, but you're tiptoeing that line from full-blown depression to, I got to get my butt in gear.
Yeah.
Because that's why people they call it eat away your feelings, right? Because you're depressed and it only makes it worse.
Oh, yeah.
So there's got to be something in the middle. One of the things is like, hey, stop telling your kids to call people fat asses. And by the way, you do that by not calling people fat asses.
Yeah.
Your kids learn it from you.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, they learn everything from you.
Yeah.
And their friends. But if you can kind of if you're not putting it out there, you hear your kids say it and say, hey, wait a minute. Don't be calling that person a fat ass.
Yeah.
You're not doing them any favors whatsoever. But I know someone saying, well, what about the person that motivates to get skinny? Okay. That happened, 1 out of 10?
I've known a lot of fat people in my life, and having extensive experience in that category, I can tell you it doesn't motivate you at all.
No. I'm sure it does with some people, right?
No, I think it's just people as an excuse to be mean.
Oh, yeah.
Because there's some people that just want to be dicks.
Well, and they've got other issues in their life going on that aren't as visible. Yeah. It's like think about it, you're wearing your Target.
Oh, yeah.
Out in the open for everybody to see.
Yeah.
Well, the person who's making fun of that person doesn't have their Target out in the open for someone to easily identify.
Right. Like if you have a high-pitched voice, you just don't talk.
Right.
Or, if you're...
Or you could be getting beaten at home.
Yeah.
Right? Your parents are the ones putting you down at home. So you need to find a place where you can feel that dominance. And you're trying to put the fat person down because that's where you can easily feel dominance. Mm-hmm. And you're just so tired of getting shit on at home that you want to shit on somebody else.
Yeah.
That's generally where that comes from. It's the need to feel superior to someone else because you're getting shit on somewhere else. Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, it's like the whole thing where in schools they're trying to teach kindness and all that. Be kind of, unless they're gonna get it from home, you're not gonna regulate how kids act and feel.
Yeah,
you're just not. You can't undo what parents do. Because that's what they're seeing. The other 16 hours in a day, that's what they're seeing.
Yeah,
or obviously they're sleeping too, or when they're summer break or breaks, whatever. That's what they're seeing, and they're going to model their parents more than they're going to model other people.
Oh yeah.
So, well, we hope you enjoyed this episode. We got through some weight loss. So Mike's down 52, I'm down 42. We'll do another episode update or weight loss update probably. I don't know. This is going to go out late September or next week, so probably middle of September. Maybe we'll do late October, right before Halloween, right before we start chowing some candy, because the kids are going to bring that back. Want to thank Cheers and Spirits in the Arnold Station Plaza and Brian Schilling of Long and Foster Real Estate in Annapolis, Maryland. Go check them out. They're going to be linked in the description below. We appreciate you listening. Please like, subscribe, comment, and share. Definitely share with a friend of your social media. And we will see you next time.